Caleb had finally found peace. No debt, no endless wanting. He knew what enough was, and for 2 years, life was good. Then, on an ordinary Tuesday, the good years ended. A meeting that lasted 4 minutes, a company restructuring, a job that had existed that morning, and didn't by lunch. And Caleb discovered something nobody warns you about. Being content doesn't protect you. Peace isn't the same as protection. This is the story of the one thing that decides whether a bad season breaks you, and why almost everyone gets it wrong, by waiting until the bad season arrives to think about it.
Here's what everyone knows, and nobody acts on. A bad season is coming. Not maybe. The job, the economy, the illness, the thing no one sees coming. That's exactly what makes it the thing that arrives. So why does almost no one prepare? Because in the good years, preparation looks like waste. Setting aside what you could be enjoying feels foolish when the sun is out. Every dollar you store is a dollar not spent, not invested, not doing anything. It looks like fear. It looks like missing out. Right up until the moment. It's the only thing standing between you and ruin.
Chase got hit by the same wave, the same week. And Chase had everything. The car, the place, the watch. What he didn't have was margin. Because for years, every good month went straight into the next upgrade. There was always something better to reach for, and reserves felt like money sitting still, doing nothing. I'll figure it out, Chase always said. Something will come up. And for years, something always did. That's the thing about fragile, it works perfectly, right until it doesn't. 1 month without income, and it all started coming apart. The car went first, then the place. Everything Chase had built for a decade, unwound in about 11 weeks. And here's what stayed with Caleb. Chase hadn't been reckless, he'd been normal. He did exactly what everyone does. He lived at the edge of his good years, and assumed they'd keep coming. Caleb went to Eli with the only question that mattered. How do you survive something you can't see coming? And Eli told him about a man who was handed a nightmare, and turned it into a nation's salvation.
A king dreamed of 7 healthy cows, devoured by 7 starving ones. Nobody could tell him what it meant, except a prisoner named Joseph. And Joseph said, 7 years of abundance are coming, and after them, 7 years of famine, so severe the abundance will be forgotten. So do this, in the good years, store 1/5 of everything. Fill the storehouses while the grain is plentiful, because the famine is not a possibility, it is a schedule.
And here's what should stop you. Joseph didn't store during the famine. By then it was too late. There was nothing left to store. He stored during the 7 good years, when the fields were full, and the warnings sounded ridiculous. Imagine being the man taking away 1/5 of the harvest, in the best years anyone could remember. That is what wisdom looks like from the outside. It looks like waste. But wait, didn't we just meet a rich man who filled his barns, and was called a fool? Yes, and that's the whole thing. Both men stored grain. One was a fool, one saved a nation. The difference was never the barn. It was who the barn was for. The fool stored to escape his life. Joseph stored to carry others through theirs. And when the famine came, Egypt didn't just survive it. Egypt fed the world. That's the part almost everyone misses. The storehouse didn't just protect Joseph from the disaster. It made the disaster, the moment he was made for. The famine that should have destroyed him was the reason anyone ever knew his name.
So Caleb stopped asking how to survive the bad season, and started asking what he should have built before it. He and Hannah went back to the table. The buffer they built years ago, the small, boring cushion, had bought them time. Not comfort, time. And time turned out to be the only thing that mattered. It meant Caleb could look for the right work, instead of grabbing the first thing out of panic. Chase, with no margin, had to take whatever came. Same crisis, 2 completely different sets of options. So they built deeper. Not one storehouse, several. Savings that were boring on purpose. Skills that could earn in more than one way. A life whose costs could shrink fast if they had to. Redundancy, everywhere. It looked inefficient. It was inefficient, that was the point. Because efficiency is beautiful when everything works. And it's the first thing that kills you when it doesn't. The next bad news came 2 years later. Another Tuesday, another 4-minute meeting. This time, someone else's. And Caleb felt the old drop in his stomach. And then, nothing. Because this time, there was grain in the storehouse. He didn't panic. He didn't scramble. He had months. He had choices. And then he did the thing that surprised him most. He called Chase and asked what he needed, because the storehouse was full, and a full storehouse in a famine is not a wall, it's a door. That's what Joseph understood. The wise don't prepare because they're afraid of the storm. They prepare because they intend to still be standing when it passes, with enough left over to pull someone else out of it. You cannot build the storehouse in the famine. You build it in the 7 good years, while everyone tells you you're wasting them. So here's the question, and it's an uncomfortable one. Are you in your 7 good years right now, and treating them like they'll last forever? How many months could you stand without income? Not a guess, a number. Tell me in the comments. But something happened when Caleb picked up that phone. He built the storehouse to protect his family, and discovered it could do something more. Joseph's grain didn't just save Egypt, it fed everyone who came asking. And that opens the strangest law of money in the whole book. The people who give the most away somehow end up with more. That's the next story.